Motor Imports, and we are here to discuss about the proposed new CRSP that might get cars to become very expensive. However, not all cars have become expensive with the new proposed CRSP. Actually, some cars have actually become cheaper.
Yeah.
Bwana Tom.
Yes.
Karibu sana bana. Karibu sana.
Leo
naweza taka tuchambue hii story vizuri because what I've learned is that, or what I've seen, there's a lot of hearsay and a lot of inaccurate information being peddled around.
Yes.
So I think before we start this discussion, maybe tunaweza tumia hawa watu salamu. Wale watu wameingia, hakuna watu wameingia. Guys are not sending your salamus. Bado. Anataka tuanze. Karota from Uganda. Good evening family watching from Uganda. So at least you see these Ugandan people have not been affected.
Yeah.
The Ugandans cannot understand what we are facing.
We are facing over here.
They come from a good country. They can import very old cars.
Yes, and their duty is not as bad as ours.
In fact, do Ugandans use CRSP?
No, I think they use the values. He can tell us.
Yes, Bwana Karota, you can tell us, what do you use in Uganda? Donald Bicha, hey guys, Prince Albert, Niko Ndakas, Eric with the CK, karibu sana. Marcos Onteri from Kitui. Marcos ametoka Kitui, karibu sana. Karibu na kwa kina Tom, ndio nafikiria. Kipngetich Rono is saying, with the new taxes, I may not upgrade my kibakuli. Sawa, Onesmus, hi bro, Murioki Marigi, pen, paper and calculator at hand. Karibu sana. Leo ni hesabu. Leo ni mathematics class. We have, who else? Samuel Andati, Subaru G4, Vitz, non-hybrid, Jambo sana. Who else? Marcos Onteri from Kitui, yes. Prince Albert from County 005. Karibu sana, Prince Albert. Sir Kings, Michael. He's from Birmingham. Says Sir Kings Michael from Birmingham says hello. You know, even Vika is the Birmingham of Kenya. That's what I see. You can get pale Vika. We have Brian Mawira tuned in from Juja City. Wanaitanga Jujamaica. Peter M. Salimika sana, next time ununue kakuota pale Dhome Classic. Nani aliniona Dhome Classic leo? Tukilipata nitakununulia. Knock knock, who is this? Melbourne, knock knock, who's there? Alan Gushi, good evening. Samuel, hi Wakabi and Top, keep up the good work. Peter Nganga, Salimika from Republic of Saudi Arabia, nimesalimika sana. Mwego Jambo CK tuko ndani from Nakuru, Warotere, good evening from Ngong. Mike Nzuki from Shimba Hills, Nyerere Wadheka, namuona pale. Evans Wambogo, you know, I used to work, this guy called Nyerere. I used to work with him when I was working in a newsroom.
You were once in a newsroom.
Story for another day. Identity rights, naona ameingia na niko na missed call ya identity. I'll call him back. Benson Otonda, tuned in and happy to have visited Neon Mobility over the weekend before coming to Kanairo. Wazi Benson, karibu sana, karibu tena. African Voice, Jambo CK, leo sioni mkojo ya punda bwana. Rukuna represented. 434, hi Eric, great and informative show. Watching from Ruiru. What's the proposed duty of a Peugeot 308 wagon? 5 HDI in a diesel. So I think watu waendelee kutuma salamu na pia kuuliza maswali about these taxes. But for the time being, I would like to shift to Tom.
Yes.
And Tom, most people have really put it out there that the cars are becoming more expensive.
Yes.
However, not all cars have become expensive, Bwana Tom.
Yeah.
Today I would like us to focus on where people might benefit if this is really approved. Because, again, we have not yet... there's so much going on. And I remember telling guys that last Wednesday. So we cannot officially say that this is officially implemented.
Yes.
Also, we don't know the implementation process that KRA is going to take on this. Sindio?
Yes.
So I think what we can do is, first of all, go across this whole thing, because first of all, people are talking about CRSP, but I can assure you not many people know what CRSP is.
Yes.
So maybe you can start, Tom, by asking, by you explaining what CRSP is.
The CRSP mainly stands for the current retail selling price of a vehicle, the cost of that car when brand new at this time. So that is what we depreciate to get the custom value.
Okay.
So basically, an increase in the CRSP means the custom value will be high, hence the duty paid on the cars will be high. Yeah.
Okay. I would like to know, and what determines because if you read that document, what determines the Kenyan CRSP? Because I saw for this particular one, they had quoted the Japanese yearbook.
Yeah, they source mostly from Japan. Most of the vehicles we import are from Japan, majority, almost 90%. So they get the prices from there. Though, after going through that list, there are some units zenye unaangalia unaona they are not consistent.
Yes.
You find higher trim with a lower CRSP than a lower trim. So actually, the document needs a lot of refining before it's implemented.
Because there are some vehicles that have an unrealistic CRSP.
Yes, you look at a unit, then hey, you wonder. Even I've had someone asking about the Peugeot 08. It's listed as an SUV. They are saying the 08 is an SUV. So I think, okay, they've given us the proposal, but it's not very thorough. Yes, it's not very thorough.
And talking about how thorough this thing is, Mr. Tom, vehicles like the Tiguan, they have been subject to discussions even on platforms like X.
Yes.
And I must say, compared to cars in its list, you know, you want to tell me that the CRSP for Tiguan would be lower than that of a Subaru Forester SK9?
No. No, it won't be lower. I don't know. I don't know. It's errors or the figures. You cannot know how they came about with them because the Tiguan, it's one of the vehicles zimeshuka in CRSP, specifically the diesel ones, because I've noted the TSI, the 1.4 liter imepanda.
Yeah.
Yes, but the TDI, R line, High line, Comfort line, the CRSPs have gone down.
Okay. Now let's talk about there's a guy called Matt, and he's actually raising a very important issue. And I remember when we got this document, we had this discussion.
Yes.
There is an ongoing case, an ongoing CRSP case that is dated around when was it dated?
2020.
2020.
Yeah, actually it's on the KRS website.
Yes.
Yes. So they proposed an increase in the CRSP in 2020 and it was opposed. It went to court and it was suspended. But they sneaked what was in the 2020 into 2019 CRSPs through rulings. You import a car, then once it gets to Mombasa, you had used the 2019 CRSP, you are told there was a ruling on this car, and this is the new CRSP. When you compare, you find that what is in the 2022 is what they are calling a ruling. So they sneaked all the CRSPs za 2020 zenye zilikataliwa na koti into 2019.
Okay. Na sasa Tom, hapa niko na swali. Talking about rulings, there are cars that have been suspiciously cheap.
Yes.
With this new document. And I hope guys can maybe we can walk through this journey with them.
Yes.
And try to explain. Now, if you remember the episode we had, you and I, we talked about the Subaru XV being one of the heavily taxed. To be specific, the GT7, the 2-liter eyesight, the 2-liter IS, and also that one was heavily taxed.
Yeah.
The duty was around 1,050,000.
Yes, 1050, around 1050.
1050.
Yeah.
So back then, how much was the CRSP?
The CRSP then was around, can't remember the exact figure, around 5 point something, around 5 point something.
And it seems to have dropped almost 6 million, right?
Yes.
But with the 2.0 IS eyesight, that trim of the XV, it has dropped to 4.366.
Yes.
Around there.
Yes.
Actually, the actual figure is 4,366,448.
Yes. So the duty will go down to around 712,000.
So that's a 300,000 decrease.
Yes, that's a 300,000 decrease
on the XV.
Yes.
Okay. And it seems that this new proposed CRSP has really favored Subarus.
Yes, it has favored the Subarus, the Peugeot, and I think also the Volkswagen, some Volkswagen, even the Atrion has decreased in the CRSP. The CRSP has gone down. Okay. So those three makes have really been favored by the new CRSP.
And actually, just to get closer home, even the Subaru Forester X-Brake edition has seen a drop in CRSP.
Yes.
To 4,527,134.
Yes, though it was not in the previous CRSP. We used to do what we call prorating.
Yes.
We were using the CRSP for the SJ5 because the non-turbo. We were prorating it. You divide it by 2,000 and multiply it by 2,500 because the SK9 is at 2,500 cc.
Yes.
So after doing those prorating, the duty was coming a bit high. But now with the new CRSP, if we compare, now I'm comparing with the unit that we took to
Kapsabet.
To Kapsabet.
Yes.
Yes, because that one we did a prorating. If you compare, the duty has really gone down for the SK9.
And that is a good thing. So the SK9 has really been favored by this new proposed CRSP.
Yeah.
The other Subaru that has seen a big improvement on CRSP is the Impreza G4 2.0.
Yes.
The Impreza Sport GT7, the 2-liter.
Yeah.
Even, and most exciting, the Subaru Impreza STI.
Yes.
The STI has a very enticing CRSP.
Yeah.
But
so the Subaru boys are very happy.
They should be very happy. For this one, they should be very happy.
Yeah.
But do you think also the Outback has seen a huge decrease?
Yeah, the Outback has decreased.
The Outback has also been greatly favored by the new CRSP. But do you think, Tom, that we might foresee rulings?
Yes, I suspect there will be rulings, especially on these units that have decreased. I don't know. Of course, people will go for this low
CRSP.
Yeah, the ones that have lower CRSP. And sometimes the government will look at the demand of a certain unit. Then they rule, they give a new value. So we expect to have some rulings, though not immediately, after some time, after they've seen the trend in the purchase of those units.
So Samuel N is saying that's good news for the Subaru. I remember when we had a hard time with Tom on Subaru XV, but the thing is the 1.6. The thing is the 1.6 liter is missing from the list.
Yeah, it's not in the list. There are so many units that are not in the CRSP. I've seen several. You look, even the Subaru GT2,
yes,
GT3, they are not there. They are not in the CRSP list. So it's not exhaustive. It doesn't incorporate all the units. So I'm suspecting they'll have to update the list.
They definitely have to update that list.
Yes.
The other thing maybe we can talk about is actually the Volkswagen family. We have the Arteon, we have the Passat TDI, Tiguan R-Line, Tiguan Highline, Tiguan Comfort Line.
Yes. Those have seen a decrease in the CRSP.
Okay.
So the Altion, though the Altion, they did a ruling. It wasn't in the previous CRSP list. The ruling was for around 6 million. So we were paying a duty of around 986,000. At the moment, the ruling with the new CRSP, the CRSP has gone down by 2 million. It's at 4 million, around 4036. So that will mean the duty will be a bit low.
What should we expect when the small cars seem to have received a thorough beating?
Yes, the small units on the actually on the feet.
Honda Fit is one of the beneficiaries.
It's a
of this
beneficiaries
CRSP.
because the duty has gone down from around 460 to 300 and something to around 337.
That is for the hybrid or for the non-hybrid?
Non-hybrid, the GK3.
And funny thing, we have also seen that decline on the Vezel.
Yes.
RU1.
No, RU4.
RU4.
There is a slight decline. There is a slight decline. Though the RU1, I don't know whether it has maintained or it has increased. But what I've seen specifically is the RU4. There is a small decline in it.
So there's some good news for the Vezel guys.
Yeah.
But so maybe we can have this discussion. What would you tell someone who maybe has a vehicle, or what do you think will happen? Because there are people who even us tuko kwa hii mix.
Tuko kwa hii mix.
We have some cars that are in the high seas, and they might not get here before the 1st of July.
Yes.
So what do you think will happen? Because I think it will be very unfair for dealers who had quoted lower prices,
Yes.
but then will be hit by some significant increases in price. What do you think? Do you think that KRA will give a kind of what do you call it? A transition. What will happen? Because you see, that's something that we are not private to. We don't know.
Yes, yes.
Because if they start implementing it on 1st of July, does it mean that the vehicles that are on the high seas will they give an allowance for the vehicles? Say okay, we have implemented this CRSP, but for definitely if you're importing a car, cars imported from these times.
They will have to give. Okay, they've given the directive that it will be effected from 1st of July, but I don't think that is fair to dealers and importers.
Yes.
And also to clients. If they implement it as they've said, it will cause a lot of chaos and conflicts between clients and importers. So the most prudent thing was to give, let's say, a 3 months notice. Yes, first we go through the document, because actually I didn't know we would have a new CRSP. It just came. So I think they should give us a bit of time, around 3 months. Ili gari zenye ziko already in the high seas zifike. Then now, though kuna negotiations zinaendelea between the government and our organization, here importers. If hizo negotiations zitaenda through regarding reduction of some of these figures, I think it will be fair for them to give us time. We clear the units that are already in the high seas, and na zenye zingine pia ziko kwa port. Unapata kuna watu walitaka stock inakaa kwa port for some time as they sell what they have to clear what is in the port. So it will be fair if they gave us time.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, and I think that should be, because you can imagine the blow that dealers are going to get.
Yeah.
and even the end users, because you can imagine umekuotia mzee CX5 yake inaingia hapa na 3 million alafu ingie na
4M.
ikuja ingia hapa kuja kuingia na 4 million. Where do you get that 1 million extra? Because tayari you're psychologically prepared that you're not spending too much
on that unit.
On this unit. So there is okay. So Karota from Uganda is talking about the import taxation in Uganda, and he's saying car import taxation and charges in Uganda: import duty 15%, dutiable value, VAT 17%, and import commission 2%, withholding tax of 4%.
Yeah, that's very fair. Here we are dealing with 35%, 25%, and 25%.
I think theirs is...
It's quite fair. Very fair.
It's very fair. It's very fair. Actually, that is a very fair rate. If we look at those figures compared to what we have here locally, even with the current CRSP.
Yeah.
A very interesting question here from Donald Beecher, and I think this has hit so many people. What is the effect of the proposed CRSP on the Mazda CX-5 diesel?
The CX-5 diesel, the CRSP has gone up, yes, significantly. Imepanda.
Unajua sasa kwa hii CX-5 tuko nakuanga na XD, XDL, proactive.
Yes. Now, before, something I've noted, before we had, most of vehicles had a blanket CRSP. As the new one, unapata zi subdivide. Unapata wameka the XD proactive, XDL, the exclusive mods. They've listed several trims, each trim with its own CRSP. Hiyo itagonga wengi.
Italima watu proper.
Yes, hiyo itagonga wengi because ukileta CX5 unajua duty ya CX5 regardless ya trim ni hii. But sasa you've gone for the high trim not knowing hii kitu itakuja.
Kwanza watu wanasikianga wamesema nataka ile ya Soul Red iko na sunroof.
Iko na sunroof. Na Bose.
Na Bose sound system.
Yes.
Sasa ndio hawa.
Yeah.
Here we are. The car that is also not making rounds hapa kwa social media ni kuna gari wa Kenya wamesahau na wanasahau with time. Hiyo gari inaitwa Toyota Premio. Toyota Premio na Allion. Zimegongwa?
Zimegongwa pia. Zimegongwa pia.
Now, what about let's try and look at commercial vehicles, because these also form a very emotional bit of this whole thing. Commercial vehicles. Let's talk about the Nissan NV200.
Okay.
The Toyota Probox. The NV200 and Toyota Probox. Hizo ndio gari za mkulima mdogo. Then from there we can go to the vehicles that guys are using as matatus, the likes of akina Toyota Hiace. So ebu angalia uone.
Probox, from what I'm seeing, the Probox may increase because the CRSP as we speak is at around 2.5, and the previous one was it was lower because the duty for Probox was coming very low. The previous one was around 1.7.
That's 500,000.
Around 800.
Around 800 actually.
Increase in the CRSP.
In the CRSP.
So hiyo imegongwa.
Hiyo imegongwa sana. NV200.
NV200 we had a CRSP of 2.3. Around 2.3 as we speak. The new one is we confirm the NV200. NV200 we are talking
Kwa nini unashtuka? Unajua ukishtuka unashtua hadi viewers.
No, this can't be. Let me see whether we have another NV200. We don't have another NV200. So this is the ENV200.
ENV200 is the electric one.
The electric one. They've given it a 5.7 million CRSP.
Wait, Tom. Now there's something I do not understand when it comes to the policy on taxation of vehicles. Well, electric vehicles are supposed to have incentives.
Yes.
Because of the whole environmental friendly aspect of
yes.
them. But it seems zinaumia with every CRSP.
Zinaumia sana. Na I think they should be encouraging us to get the electric vehicles.
Yes.
They should be encouraging us to get newer cars by making sure that the newer the car, the lower the CRSP, or the lower the custom value. But now in our case, the other way around.
And now, Tom, maybe these are...
I've gotten the NV200, the petrol one, CRSP of 5.2. From 2.3. That's more than double. That's more than double. So the duty of that car will increase from the current around 385. We'll be talking of upwards of 800. So an increase of around 400.
There's a guy called George Muindi here. He's saying they gave me a car without its documents, and when I asked for them, they ignored. How comes? Who is this? George Muindi anasema nini? Oh, Tom, there's a yard in Mombasa called Zeni Motors. These guys give you cars on low deposits, but they are after repossessing your car and reselling it. They gave me a car without its documents, and when I asked them, they ignored. Now they are taking the car with only 1 month debt. This must be grade 2 or 2.5 because they sold it at 1.3.
Ni gari gani?
Ndio nashanga. Which car was it? George, tell us which car was it? Now I would like us to, Ivan Wambugu hata alikuwa ametupatia hiyo CRSP pale kwa comment section. Ya 5,808,000.
Ziko several. Hiyo yenye nimekupea 5.2 is the base. The base one.
And you know,
now I wonder how do you NV200? Kuna base na ingine iko na nini?
Unajua sasa NV200 kuna yenye inakujanga bila viti nyuma ya mzigo.
Yes.
Kuna yenye inakujanga na kiti bench hapo nyuma. Na kuna yenye inakaanga kama iko na hadi plastic padding ndani. The one that is meant for passengers, I presume.
Okay.
Sasa unajua before I think zilikuwa tu blanket.
Ilikuwa tu NV200. Yeah.
So I think they are going deeper into...
Yes. That CRSP is very high for
an NV200. Yeah. And you see, it's one of the vehicles that are popular, especially for people who are in business.
Yeah.
Now, before we talk about CRSP, there's a very interesting comment I've seen on the comment section. And what will be the impact of this CRSP even to the used car market, akina Eric wa identity? You know, what do you think, Tom, will happen? Because now, if at all this is implemented the way we are looking at it, then that means there'll be more demand for locally used vehicles.
Yes, of course, people will turn to the locally used vehicles and the prices will go up. Yes, definitely. So because even the people who have cars currently, hatakuwa na incentives za kuziuza. So the supply, the second hand, pia itakuwa chini.
Itakuwa chini sana.
Na demand itapanda. So hiyo concoction hizo vitu mbili, the prices will go up, definitely. So venye wao kina Eriko wakisource hizo itakuwa ngumu. Because no one will be willing to let go of what they have. Unaipeana alafu uko na NV200 yako yenye ulilipa duty ya 200 and something, 385. Utaiuza alafu
ununue ile iko na
yes.
And then now there is also something Vince Bryan is saying, and this might directly affect also the spare part market.
Yes, zitapanda. Hii kitu inakujanga tu an increase in prices ya magari, hata hizo za kukata
Hakuna.
hazitapatikana hizo hata hizo za kukatwa, so parts bado zitapanda.
And also, I think there's also be an influx of low quality vehicles.
Yes. Now if the duty imeenda juu, the other aspect ya price ya gari yenye mtu atajaribu kupata the cheapest ni CIF.
So unaenda unanunua ile gari imezungusha
Yenye imezungusha mita kabisa. Yes.
to try and compensate for the price.
Yeah, to try and compensate for the price.
So it means the cars that would have otherwise been stripped for spares will somehow find their way into the car market.
Yeah, it will come in, zitakuja zikuwa full ziuzwe.
We are Matt anasema ati natuongezee wizi pia.
Yes.
So saa hii wase wa field
eka traka ya 3
hii David wameweka traka hadi kwa diff.
Yes. Wizi itaongezeka because sasa if the demand is high and supply is low, hii itakuwa incentives kwa wezi, because unajua ukitoa tu ka probox useme unauza kanaenda mbio sana because hakuna mtu ataka kuleta ama kununua because the prices are high. So people should be very careful with their vehicles, where you park, waeke pia anti-theft devices, vitu kama hizo.
So hii unapark gari na unafunga mbo hapo kwa taya.
Hapo kwa taya.
And now there is also let's also take into perspective the banks. The banks are also going to lose significantly on revenue that comes from asset financing.
Yes. Basically, as an economist, by the way, I did BCom and I did bit of economics. You can't tax an economy into prosperity. You can't. Saa zingine unapata ni zero sum game. When you umeongeza taxes, unaona ni kama uta collect more on vehicles, ina affect other sectors. Unapata mtu mwenye alikuwa anafikiria kununua gari anaachana nayo, anasema ni luxury because the price has gone up. Unajua mtu ungepata ile duty kidogo ungepata angenunua hiyo gari, so you may lose hiyo. So if you are to sell let's say 1 million units, watu 500 kiwasema wanunui because the prices are high. It means hata hii yenye umeongeza na 40% it will be lower, yani the effect, your tax collection yao itakuwa lower than kama zingebaki the same. Kitu ingine, dealers, there is a lot of money yenye watu wenye kwa hiyo ekonomi ya magari wanaletanga. Na ikifika mahali watu wakuwa wataki kuimport magari sana, inamaanisha kuna revenue serikali ina lose. Hata hizi ma VAT.
Tom, I think mic ya Tom nafikiria imekufa. Let's try and just a moment as we set Tom up. Douglas, relax. Just a moment as we finish setting up Tom so that we can just a moment guys as we set up Tom, tafadhali. And Tom is all keyboard up. Yes. Tuone kama ita connect. It's still red. Okay. Okay, we're good.
We are good.
We're good. The viewers viewing us, kindly confirm sound. Kindly confirm sound. Tafadhali, kindly
I
confirm
think we are
sound.
up.
We are up, eh?
Yes.
Okay. Tom, there
The-
is a.
There is something now. There is a point I was trying to drive
Yes.
on the effects that increase in taxes will have. They will get more revenue from a single unit, but they will miss the revenue they would have collected on more units. You get? Like unaongeza gari, ulikuwa uze gari 5, unauza moja.
So
The net effect unapata it's a negative collection. Yeah.
And now there's a gentleman here who is called John Kangosing.
Yes.
And he's saying, Eric, today I was following CS Treasury Pale Bunge, and he confessed that KRA has been missing targets big time in the past months. I support you cannot tax people to prosperity.
Yes, you can't. Yes, you can't. That's a theory in economics. You can't. Basically, you can't.
Haya. There's a gentleman by the name Toriko Lekimaine. Toriko from Samburu saying, thanks, Eric. You once imported a car for me, though indirectly. Kazi nzuri sana, Eric. Thank you sana, Toriko. Asante
feedback.
sana. But that's very good feedback. Now, William is asking, and this is another car that we would maybe look at, especially because it's a direct competitor to the Demio, to the Honda Fit, and to the Suzuki Swift.
Yes.
And that is the Peugeot 208.
The Peugeot 208
Yes.
ijakuwa na impact kubwa ya tax. Kama ni ka increase ni kidogo tu, around 10-20. I've looked at it, ijaongezeka sana. So I think that is kwa hiyo group ya kina not na Vitz. I think Peugeot and the Honda Fit JK3.
Yes.
Hizo ndio gari zenye at least duty ijapanda na hiyo ingine imeshuka. So it means kwa uto tududu, tunatuita tududu.
Yes.
They will be the most affordable.
And that might change fortunes for even wasewa taxi.
Yes.
We might see Peugeots start.
Yes.
Zinaweza kuingia Uber.
Zinaweza kuingia Uber. Because if you look at the Altos, Altos imegongwa.
Benejuti ya Alto
The small, let me check. Alto niliona imegongwa.
Actually, we need to look at Alto. We need to look at we need to look at the Alto. We also need to look at the Wagon R. We also need to look at the Mira, the Hatsu. Which other car wasewa Uber wanaipenda siku hizi?
Umeweka EK Wagon.
Na EK Wagon, yes. EK Wagon is the same as Nissan Days.
Nissan Days, yes.
So EK Wagon is the same as Nissan Days.
So Alto, we can begin with Alto. Alto imetoka CRSP ya 1.1. Ikaenda CRSP ya around 1.8. An increase of 700,000 in CRSP. So hapo wamegongwa.
And you see, these are the cars that
hiyo ni ile gari ya mtu akitaka kwanza hustle ya Uber anafikiria kwanza because the prices were
very low.
Yes.
So and you see that will push the cost of the Alto to over $1 million.
Yes.
Sababu kalikuwa inafika so 8.
Itaenda tu itafika.
So in Kenya you will have to be a millionaire even to own.
I don't think with the new CRSP, sijui ni gari gani itakuwa under $1 million. Yes, ni gani?
Hakuna by the way.
Iko Alto ndio hiyo inaelekea, hata kama haijafika iko hapo, hata kama itakuwa 950 hiyo ni kama 2 meter.
Peter Odida anauliza kuhusu Mazda Axela. And I think he just touched on the wrong one. Hizo Mazda zimetandikwa sawa sawa.
Na funny, nimeona tu ameweka the top trims za Axela. Kwa Mazda nimeona ameweka the S. I don't know why they've not put the
C.
na hizi zingine wana divide. Hii naona tu wameweka the S, the 1500 one na the XDL. Hata hakuna XD proactive.
And also I understand there are so many cars that are missing from the CRSP list.
Yes.
Nissan Patrol hakuna.
Hiyo hakuna.
Which other? There are quite a number of
There are quite a number of vehicles missing. Huyo Axela imetoka CRSP ya 3 million to 4 million, an increase of 1 million in CRSP.
Na sasa even Wambogo is saying Peugeot 308 diesels, I bet they'll be under 1 million. Hapana, haiwezi GSF.
CIF.
Because of CIF haiwezi fika chini ya 1 million. So I think
but itarudi pale 1.4 1.5 hapo.
But unafikiria dealers wa Kenya watakubali kurudisha? Wewe ushaisikia gari ilikuwa bei fulani imerudi chini, imekuwa cheap?
Ni ngumu.
Ni ngumu very hard.
Sasa mtu anafanya direct importation.
With direct importation you will be able to feel these reprieves.
Yes.
And now I'm sure you know what is happening in Mombasa right now. And this is something I can say without fear or favor. Sasa hivi wase wanaambiwa nueni magari juu tunaongeza bei. So ukienda unatandikwa sawa. Now you see the guys brought these cars a very long time ago.
Yes, kitambo sana.
But now the biggest excuse that these guys are making is CRSP. And that is how guys are going to make supernormal profits. Yeah. Actually, I know now there is a rush to clear vehicles. There's even Wambugu wanasema just do a simple check on before and you will see. Even there's you just don't check cars.
Unajua actually what they don't know is
yes.
The prices hizo zenye wanasema mahali anatuambia to check ziko hivyo because the duty is not yet effective.
Exactly.
When the CRSP will be effected, you will see. This happens actually. Ile time tulikuwa na good na bad month. Ulikuwa unapata gari ya good month iko na CIF iko juu.
Yes.
Gari ya bad month duty iko juu,
iko na CRSP
iko chini. They just play with
the numbers. Yeah.
Hata how they are following what venye duty ziko.
And then there is also wasi leo wasi leo ameumwa. Naona guys are asking Toyota Voxy, Noah, Step Wagon. There is a certain rabbit hole you don't want to go through sababu easy vitu you see the CRSP and you wonder and look at this. We have guys who are buying matatus. Easy the KDH 200 and also the 222, the long wheelbase ones na easy short wheelbase. The prices are likely to go higher, si ndio? Unajua saa hii 7L inakaribia kwa mtaa wanaitanga 7L, itaitangu hivyo. Inakaribia mita 3 right now. Actually it's above 3 million.
Ni huko ma 3.5 inaelekea mita 4.
So ukiongeza bei ya hiyo gari,
sijui kama itanunulika.
It means now even so that a matatu, it means tutakuwa na matatu mzee sana kwa barabara.
Yes. Because if you go for hizi zenye prices zimepanda, you will take so much time to break even. So utapata tu hizi gari mzee ndio we patch them up. Tunatembea tu nazo bora ifike.
Tuanze gari za accident sahi hadi gari za salvage bei.
Yes.
Itapanda. Now we are at a point, and you see even the insurance companies will also suffer.
Yes.
If this. I think this is not something that will only affect car dealers and the mwananchi wa kawaida.
Itakuwa na effect kubwa sana. Na the government will lose a lot of revenue. Ukiangalia huko insurance, if they lose business, they pay taxes. It means wana lose pia huko.
So wana lose your revenue.
Wana lose your revenue.
Unaona Matt anasema leo lazima tumalize hii topic, hakuna mahali mnaenda. Okay. Now there is Afro Doctor pale anauliza, is it true that duty at TXL and TZG has gone down?
Nimekuwa nikiziangalia sasa before tuanze live.
Just check it out. And remember guys, we are using data from the official KRA website.
Yes.
Ndio?
Yes, we are using the one from the official website. TXL ilikuwa na CRSP ya 7.7. That is the petrol one. Let me check the diesel one. Ilikuwa na CRSP ya 9M.
With petrol Prado hata heri usinunue.
Petrol Prado wacha
tu nayo. Tiriko Lekima. Actually now, as you look for that Tom, this gentleman from Samburu anaitwa Tiriko Lekimain,
yes,
is saying, what about the Mitsubishi Delica D5? That's a vehicle that CRSP yake tumeiongelea sahi.
Hata tutaiangalia.
But we have one thing we have noted about the Delica D5 is that nini iko the CRSP for the lower trims is higher than the CRSP for the high trims. So and that new inafanya tuangalie hii document and
with some
there are some well
it's funny the TXL maintain exact 9,90,659. Same figure on the new CRSP. TZG, let me see. I had seen it somewhere. TZG, the new CRSP is 9.6. The old CRSP was 9.4. An increment of around 200.
About 200.
Why is that so?
I think we there's a lot that we need to understand about the new CRSP.
The new CRSP.
Sasa unasikia kuna jamaa aitwa El Padre pale anasema CRSP ya Porsche Cayenne turbo ni almost the same na Audi A5 S-Line. In which world?
Yes, if you go through this document utapata kuna vitu tu make sense. You talked about the Delica.
Yes.
The Delica, the base model iko na CRSP ya 7.69 and the top model yenye inaitwa Urban Gear.
Yes.
Wameipea 6.9. So the higher trim iko na lower CRSP.
Sasa huyu Charles Zero amesema okay, before niongee, Charles Zero anasema tusilenge hizo vans, hizo Voxy, hizo Noah, hizo Esquire, Step Wagon. Serena ipa watu metandikwa
mbaya sana. Serena
tuliwaambia
walete.
Tuliwaambia mlete mapema
tu moja.
Sasa ona. Kwanza naona kuna Serena ipa Highway Star, Serena ipa zimepangwa hivyo.
I don't know. Because we paid a duty of around 300 and something.
Yes.
On the one that we brought.
The Baruni power.
Let me tell you what the new Nia suggested.
Situliwa show.
Now the base, I'll do with the base e-power.
Yes.
Imepoa CRSP 6M. CRSP 6M means that duty will come to just a minute. 6M, hiyo duty itakuwa 900k.
Mia ngapi?
9. From 300 and something. We paid 340 something if I'm not wrong.
So there is like a 600,000 increment.
Yes.
In the duty of the Serena e-power.
Serena e-power. The 1200cc.
Wololo.
Yes.
Haya, na Noah, watu wa Noah wanauliza. Watu wa Noah ina wauma.
Watu wa Noah. Hata tuangalie Noah.
Watu wakupeleka gari Kisumu. And you know, as Tom looks at this, you know, dealers will take advantage, especially during this month of June. Bobby Paresh anauliza ati Mazda 323 carburetor itapanda CRSP. Hiyo sahi hata haiwezi kuwa tax. Depreciation ishafika zero.
Ishafika zero. Naangalia Noah.
Angalia Noah.
And you know, the previous CRSP ilikuwa merge Noah na ilikuwa Noah stroke
Voxy.
Voxy. Na hii ingine yenye ilikuja juzi Esquire zilikuwa tunatumia the same CRSP.
They are the same car basically.
It's the same car. But sasa hivi wamezidivide, tunapata ni Noah several so Noah the base model ya Noah ijapanda sana, imetoka around 4.3 in CRSP to around 4. The base 4.3 to around 4.6, ijapanda sana. So chenye wamefanya, wamechapa Serena ifanane na wenzake.
Serena imelimwa
from 2M. Hiyo gari imetoka 2M.
Sasa
iko tu hizo ligi za nini.
Sasa hiyo bila 2.4, 2.5 huna hii power.
Our client aliona the new CRSP akaniambia Tom, tumeponea.
Yaani ile inaitangwa kuponea chupu. So there is also a guy watu Audi wameumia. Donald anasema bwana Tom, we need counseling.
Tutafungua wing hapa grande tuone kama tunaweza a bit of counseling.
Tutafute psychologist hapa. Sasa na mimi niliwaambia, I always tell akina Andy hapa na akina Wangari wazoee kujenga gari mzee wanaenda watafuta gari imekufa huko, wanakuja tunaamsha polepole. Sasa ona.
So naona ameuliza huyu amesema we need counseling, amesema give us a way forward. Ni watu waache kubagua gari. Nowadays kuna mtu saizi ufai kuongelea hii gari mambo ya parts.
Sasa the world is a global village.
The world is a global village. Ukitaka any part you can import. So what you can do is use the CRSP to your advantage. Is the new CRSP. If you are looking for a subcompact SUV, uone zimekugonga sana, rudi kwa 2008.
Basi hizo
imeshuka. By the way imeshuka by a very big margin. Una compare tu and we can help you with that.
By the way, we are offering 100% support on the new CRSP. Na by the way akina Suzuki Escudo hazijapanda sana. Hizo hazijapanda sana. So what this will do is you will tend, if it is implemented as is, we will see an influx of some models of vehicles.
Yes.
Atiza Babiparesh anasema tujenge gari mzee back to the era of EFI Toyotas. Huyu jamaa Marlon Mutinda anauliza about the CX8. Na CX8
imerudi back to where it was. Waliongeza CRSP wakashukisha, then imerudi back to where it was. Around 11 or 12 million CRSP.
Sasa naona Lenny Oyaro anasema a country making profits than the manufacturer.
Sure.
But I think we need to have a very serious conversation as dealers to try and also try to engage even the people who watch us every day.
Yeah.
And unajua inasemekana kuna mkate ngumu kwa chai. Tunakuja tunaona ni gari gani. You see, even for commercial guys, I'm sure akina Mercedes Benz Sprinter. They can easily become matatus. I don't
Sinazionanga zingine radika.
Yes. I don't think they have been hit so much. But maybe we can confirm.
Let me confirm the Sprinter.
Angalia Mercedes Benz Sprinter, because kama you see we'll have to get to also Nissan NV350 hatujajua. Hatujaangalia. So we'll just need to shift our
mentality. Ni mentality tu watu wata change because these common units they've really been hit. Kuna mtu nimeona insist to angalie the 7L Hiace van.
So hizo Hiace van zote unajua kuna 2 wheel 4 wheel.
Nitawapea tu the base.
Yes.
But they've given let me see the base ya diesel. Acha tuangalia diesel. Base ya diesel wameipea CRSP ya 5.7. 5.7 hiyo ni actually that is QDH.
QDF ni QDF. no, unaweza kuwa KDH. Hiyo ni GDH, ni ile ya 1GD, si ndio?
Yes.
From 2018.
GDH actually ni 6.6 million in CRSP. Previously highest ilikuwa na CRSP imeshuka. Yes, ilikuwa CRSP ya 7.2.
That's a reprieve, by the way.
That's a reprieve.
Wase wa matatu they have been favored greatly.
They have been favored.
Lakini sasa madila, so ukienda pale Mombasa, mtu ajaribu kuambia story ya Judy na wanunua matatu, mwambie bwana, watu si wajinga bwana, watu si wajinga. Hata nani anasema hapa ati watakuja kucamp hapa Grande. Ati junjia ni direct importation. Polycarp Ouma anauliza kuhusu gari zenye zimelimwa sana. Lakini XC60 na XC90
hizo hata siku hata kuzipitia, you know, of late I've been importing so many Volvo, and Volvo zimetutandika sana. Volvo imetoka CRSP around 5.8 to the current inscription. Hata nikuangalia inscription.
Cab Subaru Forester imeanguka. Cab Subaru Forester CRSP has gone down.
XC60 inscription
Yes.
Hii ni tuseme T5. Let me look at T5. Imepewa CRSP ya 14 million. Hata hiyo siku hata kuiongelea because sasa what is that from 5.8
to 14 million.
14 million.
Na vile tu just the Volvo zimeanza kukuja kwa
Yes.
kwa barabara.
XC90 the base model 17 million in CRSP. So ukianza kuongelea zile sasa T6 you are talking about 21 million.
Hey.
Yes. 21 million. T6. Unashangaa.
Keep quiet lana tumeongea kuhusu mambo ya D5. Hiyo tushaongea kuhusu Delica
imepanda.
Hiyo tushaongea. Na sasa Tom naona masaa imeenda.
Yes.
But we are going to have I'm sure between this Wednesday and next Wednesday there are going to be definitely kutakuwa na some developments. So we are going to keep them updated.
Sure.
Na pia we will create and compile a list of the cars in case this is implemented as is.
Yes.
The cars that you will go for, at least that will maintain a realistic price or that will have gone down. So next Wednesday tunakutana tu hapa and we are going to compile for you a list of vehicles that will have gone down, na zile vehicles mnaweza import to still. And you see now, to avoid guys dealers taking advantage, pia mnaweza kuja tuwaimportie, like wewe mwenyewe unalipa, you know. So let us not only look at the glass half empty. Let us look at it as half full.
Yes. Because
you might end up owning cars, and you know the beauty about even owning cars that are not necessarily common is that hata spares zitakuja zikuwe mingi za hizo magari. It's a ripple effect. So it's not that we cannot afford cars anymore. No, it's how open-minded are you?
Yes.
To owning. I'm sure with the CRSPs of Peugeots going down, I know even with the Citrons pia zimeenda chini.
Citrons, the Peugeots.
Hizo
zimeenda chini.
So it's only about being open-minded. Mnakuja tunakaa chini tunakuonyesha zile
the units that you can get.
Itel writers anasema ati watu the last watu wa Volvo wachague kama watanunua ndege ama gari. Just want to say asante sana for the good work. Also, thank you so much guys for joining this live session. We are going to have another one next Wednesday, this time with a list of vehicles that you can buy. Na mkumbuke, if you want consultation on this whole CRSP, the cars that you can run to, bado importini magari. Kuna magari ziko na CRSP mzuri. It's only that we are focusing on the negatives.
Yeah.
Can we also try to focus on the positives? For instance, Subarus have have
So
been
that
favored
have
greatly.
been favored.
Peugeots, Volkswagens, pia some of the commercial vehicles like Toyota Hiace. So I think it's all about how we perceive and how we venye mkuje tuende through hii kitu na nyinyi one on one, we get to know which cars, even the Passats, by the way.
Yes.
Even the Passats have really gone down. So I hope this has been an insightful episode. Asanteni sana for coming. Also, shout out to the Auto Konnekt team. Jenzi yako na experience, wangare pale. Kila mtu hapa, Mr. Tom also for always creating time. So thank you so much, and see you next week. This time with an updated list of the cars that you should import that have a favored CRSP. Over and out. Good night.